What you say? You was gonna give up. Bitch, you wasn't finna give nothing up. You was finna keep striving, keep pushing, keep working, and keep doing your shit. You are great. It's nothing but success in your future. Get up, get out, get motivated. Get your motherfucking shine on today.
Are we back? We're back.
We're back.
Like we never left.
Yeah. I'll probably edit the actual clip into it.
Oh, dude.
To start the video.
That was motivational in itself. I'm ready to go.
So long since we've recorded. I forgot. What do I do with my hands?
What's it been? At least a month? Probably a month off?
Yeah, it's been about a month, dude. It's been nice. What you been up to?
Summer break. Trying to eat better, eat clean, minus the playa bowls. I've been hooked on those son of guns lately. And just working and
They're
trying
so
to get
delicious,
in the gym.
bro. I don't blame you.
I know.
Them acai bowls and them little candies and stuff like that. Remember how I told you I wanted to start that dessert Chipotle type thing? That's basically what playa bowls is.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah,
it's an
and
assembly
Froyo
line.
World and all the other things. I want to invent something that has already been created.
It started as a food truck apparently, but other than that, just working and going to the gym and trying to enjoy the summer, spending time with my parents by the pool, being boring. What about you, Dons? What's been keeping you busy this summer?
I'm still out here fighting my demons, trying not to die. But
Aren't we all?
Other than that, I get a brain scan on Monday. Then they get to finally tell me if I am. Probably
He
have to
has-
bleep that out.
The longest stint of being in the concussion protocol.
Yeah, so still in concussion protocol. Been lightly working out a little bit. Still get a little lightheaded and freaking lose a little bit of my equilibrium when I lift. But running has been good. I say running, but I really mean fat man trotting, going into a jog.
Hey, man.
You know,
You're on a journey.
I can do, what was it? I did a mile in 11 minutes, a little over 11 minutes, which is not bad, but also terrible at the same time. Being
man.
that I used to run like a, I don't know, 640 or something like that, 645 mile. But that's obviously when I was in shape and not fat the way that I am.
I was like, damn, when did you do that, Dons? That's impressive. 640 is like almost sprinting.
Bro, remember how I told you that I was built to persevere and overcome?
Nothing can hold him back.
That's why I'm good at like running like that, because I like can really push through a lot of the mental barriers and obstacles that people go through when you're tired. Like I have the switch that like just keeps going, and then I throw up. But anyway,
You're not tired.
I'm not tired. But yeah, so I'm finally up to about not a full mile running straight, but probably like 0.7, 0.8 of a mile I could do without stopping.
Progress.
Yeah, progress. So I've been taking it light and easy, dude. Still a little messed up from, the stupid accident, unfortunately. But we out here. We're live. What's up, homies from the Philippines? And all our fans.
Tell him why you brought that up, Dons.
It is the One of 32 podcast. And the reason why I bring this up, and I'm Don sitting here with my boy KP, is I booted up the email for the One of 32, 1day32@gmail.com if you guys want to talk to us. It says that we're ranked 33 in the Philippines for football podcasts, dude. Yeah. And we're top 100, and not only have we cracked the top 100, we have cracked the top 50.
Mama, we made it. Mama, we made it.
It's like we have one stream on Apple, and that's what gets us to 33.
Hey,
but
it's better than
anyways,
zero.
we love everybody. We're excited to be here. I'm excited to talk a little bit of birds. I feel like, yes, the message was inspirational to start. Get up, get out, get motivated, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Y'all can do it. Si se puede. But I do have to talk about the sad news in the room, man. And
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Very, very young man, very young age. Brian Brayman, great special teamers for us. Won the Super Bowl with us in 2017. Unfortunately, lost his battle to the C word. We are deeply saddened. I obviously, just like you, probably just heard of it when it just started happening like a month ago, a couple weeks ago. Always sad when you see anybody going through those situations, let alone a young man. I think he was like, 38 years old, 38 or something like that. And so RIP to him. Condolences to the family. Eagles family still loves you. I used to love watching him on special team, his hair flowing, just cracking the shit out of people on punt coverage as I crack myself on the mic.
Yeah, he looks like a Viking, dude.
Yeah, I wish I took the time to go back to watch like some of his highlights during that season, because I used to get so amped up. And I used to, because he was on the team before we were good in 2017. And one of the things that I used to like cling on to, say like all the time, one of the things I used to cling on to is our special teams unit had like 3 or 4 players that were studs on special teams, and he happened to be one of them. So I want you to know that you were a shining light in our dark days as Eagles fans.
Yep. First thing that comes to mind for me is when we think of athletes, we think of like superhuman, physically, mentally. Yes, they have injury, but they get through all these things. It just goes to show you that even the most superior athletes can become a victim of or become part of what you mentioned earlier, which is the C word, Dons. And it also makes me appreciate our health. Things you don't often think about. Similar to when you get sick, you get a cold. At least for me, all I'm thinking is, man, I can't wait to just feel normal again.
Bro, I get sick for forever. So, yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. I'll get sick. I'll get a cold and be sick for 6 damn weeks. That does not go away. I try to take my vitamins. I drink my water. You know what it is? I don't get that much sleep. So, actually, I get plenty of sleep. What the hell am I talking about? But, yeah, we can work on our sleeping regimen.
Yeah, things you don't think about. So, like you said, rest in peace. Thoughts and prayers to his family, and he's an Eagle for life.
Very sad, but moving on.
Yep. Let's talk about something
How
positive.
you transition well, but listen.
News.
It is the middle of July right now. We just got through Independence Day here in our great country state, the great country state of Georgia, in the United States. Which means training camps around the corner. And I cannot wait until we start getting some actual football content to react to instead of just speculation and percolation. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of, go ahead.
I can't wait for ESP to be in minicamp, giving minicamp stats. I can't wait to hear in the media all the rookies all around the league, not just for the Eagles, like who's really standing out, because there's always a handful of people that are like, wow, joint practices, like wide receiver X really got shit done, or cornerback really blanketed. I was gonna say Antonio Brown, but the only thing blanketing Antonio Brown is Jamal in South C7.
Thinking about AB. I'll tell you one thing, Dons. I've been watching and consuming the football that's been available to us, and you think, wait a minute, there's no football, there's no preseason. Aha. Quarterback series on Netflix.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Oh my God. I won't give away too much. I'll tell you, I love it.
Nah, talk about it. I don't care, dude.
Okay. So first thing that comes to mind, we were talking about getting ready for the season, and they talked to Joe Burrow, and he is talking about before the season, he said, it's almost like my body and my mind just starts to feel different. I get this feeling inside of me of like, I'm about to go through the worst physical pain over the next 6 months, but like your body almost mentally and physically gets ready for it. I know we ain't playing no snaps, Dons, but I'll tell you, I'm starting to get those tingles and those feels again. Like the news is coming back, the feeling of the birds coming on, the kickoff, or just even like Sunday at 1 o'clock, red zone. You hear Scott Hansen and that music coming on. You got your food ready, whatever things you like to do in football. Just the feeling of football is almost here, Dons.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Oh, I can't
Jesus.
wait. I just got goosebumps just thinking about it.
I can't wait for parlays. I can't wait for chicken wings and pizza, bro. I can't wait to get so mad that I have to leave the house, walk around on halftime, end up watching the beginning of the third quarter on my phone, realize that we're playing way better when I watch the game from my car, and refuse to come back inside until we have a 3-score lead, which happened a lot this season. this past season. So I can't wait for football season. Training camp's around the corner. Let's get into it a little bit. Our defense, and we'll start on the defensive side. Vic Vangios now has another year under his belt as the Eagles defensive coordinator. We have obviously our shining rookies last year in Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell coming out for year 2. Will they or will they not have a great season? But we also lost CJ GJ, who's talking a lot of smack on the way out. I will say, hurt people hurt people. Darius Slay's over with Pittsburgh, Sweaty's with Arizona, Milton Williams with the Patriots. All this nonsense that I'm saying, we have so many holes, and maybe they're not holes. We have question marks. Let's not say holes because we don't know yet. We have so many question marks that need to be filled. We have Ojomo taking over Milton Williams. We have a linebacker who, God knows if Nakobe Dean will play this season. Hopefully he does. But we have a young rookie. We have Trotter Jr. there. We have a couple other people. Nolan Smith on the edge. Jalix Hunt. Whatever. I'm rambling. We need to identify somebody new who's going to step up and take place of those playmakers that we will miss this season. Yep. So my question to you here is, who do you think out of those players or whoever it is that you have in mind, who do you think is really going to take that step up year 2 in Vic Vangios' defense? And it can't be a rookie. It doesn't have to be a returning player. Who's going to step up this year to make our defense that same formidable force that we had last year?
It's the silent killer. It's actually his birthday today, a.k.a. the same day the Birds are getting their rings today.
Cumpleaños feliz, my homie.
Let's hold a moment of silence for the ring ceremony. They're about to get their rings today, so... Okay. The silent killer...
I'm like, wait, we doing this?
The silent killer is Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah?
A.k.a. the new cornerback 1 in Philly.
Okay.
So last year, Dons... we had Slay, we had the veteran there, not only to teach him, but to usually take those wide receiver ones. This year, the onus flips to Q. He's going to be the one who's going to be tasked with covering most teams' number 1 receiver. I know he's not going to be traveling like Sherman does, but is he ready for the challenge? I think so.
Why do you think he's not going to be traveling?
I don't know. I feel like Vangios' defense, like, he's old school. Like, he doesn't do that, follow a guy around the field. He's more of like... I guess Sherman would be a good example, and Revis would be the opposite, where Revis would follow the best receiver. Sherman was kind of in a cover 3. This is our scheme. I play one side of the field. Not that Quinyon's not capable. I think he is capable after I've seen him shadow guys like Terry McLaurin, who, by the way, seems very unhappy in Washington. Love to see some drama in Washington after the season they had last year.
How can you not sign him? He's your best offensive weapon on the field. He's the only reason why so many other people on that team are wide open. Like even Zach Ertz, great route runner, not as fast and stuff, but people are paying attention to what Scary Terry does, dude. You take that away from your organization, and like, good job, dude. You're going right back to being the same freaking middle of the pack to bum teams. Like, pay your best players, man.
McLaurin's one of the most underrated receivers, if you ask me.
So underrated. Has always been underrated, dude. I've been saying it for years.
And now he finally gets a quarterback, and the stars are about to align, and they don't want to pay him.
And it's just bad organizations doing what bad organizations do.
I'm sure they're going to pay him. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
But still.
It is new ownership. And who owns them? None other than Josh Harris, right?
Josh Harris,
owner of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yep.
I know the city was pretty betrayed when that happens, but whatever. It's all billionaire stuff. But yeah, so you're thinking Q's going to be the person that's going to have to step up in order for our defense to... I mean, I agree with you, especially because now there's no secondary option of who's taking number 1. Q did have a great rookie season, balled out phenomenally for us.
Quietly.
Did play against a lot of QB1s, but there was relief for him when the game plan called for it. And now, I don't know if we have that relief with Adoree Jackson, with...
Kelly Ringo.
Yeah, Keely Ringo. Even with the safeties, like, can Q be comfortable enough in Sidney Brown or whoever, Makuba, if he even signs with us? is he going to be good enough to overcompensate for them? And I hope so. I hope he could be like Revis. I hope he could be like Talib. I hope he could be like Ramsey. I hope he could be one of these guys where it's like, coach, this is wide receiver 1. I'm on wide receiver 1. You figure out the other 10 players. I hope Q can be that, but that's not my expectation for him this season. I think he could do it. I told you before the season, I feel like he gives me those Darrelle Revis vibes so much. That quiet confidence, that killer is key. Like
preparation
H feels good on the
whole. You know what else helps Quignon? And he talked about this in training camp or during the preseason. You know this, Don's, in practice. Who do you go against? Your own team. So every single day, he is lining up against guys like this. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, maybe even he gets some reps against Goddard, Jahan Dotson. Say what you want about Dotson. Dons, I watched the Super Bowl again last week.
One of the best wide receiver 3s in the league.
That route he ran where he got down to the 1, his explosion, his ability to separate, he is still capable, and he's still a first-round pick. So every single day, Quignon, as my old manager used to say, iron sharpeth iron. When you're going up against AJ and Devontae Smith, not that it makes your job easy when you go up against most other receivers, but you're in more of like if I can hang with AJ or stay close with AJ, I can pretty much hang with anybody.
Yeah, for sure. And Dotson brings that element of speed that Devontae and AJ don't bring. And then they all have greatness within. They all do everything pretty well, but they all have that one attribute that excels them over the next person. You know, whether it's AJ with his physicality and just overall strength, Smitty with his route running and understanding of the coverage of what's happening to him, or Dotson just running. And I feel you, because I felt like Dotson, take it or leave it during the season, right? I watch it.
Didn't get a lot of looks.
He's fine. Like, doesn't look bad. He just looks fine like another guy. But then when the season's over and you ain't got nothing to do and you start watching these highlights and you can put together a string of Jahan Dotson's plays for the season, and they're just not sprinkled sporadic moments of a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and you see those like 12 to 15 plays where he did it's in my opinion a coach's dream, where a third string wide receiver can go out there and give you 12 spectacular plays, 13 spectacular plays every 3 games, every 6 games, whatever, especially with the loaded offense that's run heavy. Then you have 2 of the best receivers on the outside, and then you have one of the top 5 tight ends in the league. You have all that, and your third receiver can still bring you these plays, these 12 scoring or drive important plays. I lost the words that I'm looking for, but whatever. Dotson had a great year last year.
Let's not forget, still a first-round talent. But the reason I brought those guys up is he's going up against them. Quignon is every single day. There was a poll or a survey. I shouldn't say that. PFF is a very analytics-driven website or company. They came out with the top 10 cornerbacks for last season, and Quignon was, I believe, 8 or 9 or 10. So as a rookie, as a rookie, he was top 10. And that's just not like eyeball. That's statistically. Now, more is going to be on his plate this year. The other last note I have on Quignon before I flip and ask it to you, Dons, is the pass rush. You started this conversation with, we lost Sweat, we lost Williams, we lost Slay. As you know, Dons, you played football. The secondary and the pass rush are they're tied together. If you're not getting pressure, you have to cover longer. And nobody can cover for 5 seconds consistently. So, yes, I believe Quignon is capable of stepping up, but it's also going to be about those big boys up front. If the quarterback has 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, the secondary could struggle. But let's flip it to Dons. Who for you, Dons, is capable or going to step up in year 2 of the Vic Fangio defense?
So I think I take this as not this is what's going to happen. This is more of what I hope happens here.
Yep.
Right. So you started off with the D-line, and I actually have 2 players here on the D-line that I think need to step up tremendously. And I'm already going to take this out of consideration. It's not Jordan Davis, contract year. I've been fine with Jordan Davis's performance since he's gotten here. You know, he is who we thought he is, right? He is who we thought he was.
We are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
We let him off the hook.
He's fine. And he's progressively, I think, has gotten better every year. So people out there expecting me to say Jordan Davis, wrong. If you expected me to say Jalix Hunt, though, then that is a name that we need production out of. And as much as I really loved what I saw from him last year and the faith that Vic Vangio had in him to put him in games, because think about all of the players that we had on that roster and how many times we were saying like, oh, how come this guy's not getting reps? How come this guy's not getting snaps? So many times Vic Vangio did not play the known name for the players like Jalix Hunt or Ojomo or whoever the hell it was. Even Oren Burks coming back. He would rather play the player that he thinks is going to ball out for him than the name that's getting paid, which is why I like Vic Fangio. So Jalix Hunt needs to step up in a big way because we need to replace the production that Sweaty gave us. Luckily for us, as much as I like Sweat and as good as he did, Sweat's not a dominating defensive end. He is a very solid, very good football player. It's not like we're losing 16, 18 sacks. We're losing 10 to 12, which is a good number. It's a great number, but 10 to 12 sacks in a game doesn't carry the weight that it used to back in, I don't know, let's say 2020 or not 2020, excuse me, 2010. Yeah, 5 years ago.
Back
like 2010 where it was a much more balanced offense. So Jalix Hunt is my first player. My second player is actually gonna be a Smash Bros. Locked character. You know how it's like that silhouette, and it's oh, you've unlocked blah. Like our second inside linebacker is such a question mark. Is it gonna be Trotter Jr.? Is it gonna be Jahad Campbell? Is it gonna be somebody else off the streets? I know we signed somebody else, but I forget his name and who he is. My bad. You know, we haven't done a lot of research over this little hiatus. We'd say
it's the summertime.
But that second backer, the backer, is gonna be such an important key to our defense. And then lastly, and it'll help transition us into the next topic. Unless you got something else to say, but Nolan Smith, big number 3 himself. You've seen this guy, you know, progress this season into a strong, dependable guy that showed up during the playoffs with, you know, what was it, 4 sacks or something like that in the play? 4.5?
At least 3
sacks. Yeah, 3.5 sacks in the playoffs. Guy really stepped up and shined. Can you do that a full season, and can you take that extra step? And I think Nolan Smith is very capable of being able to take that extra step. Ball players are ball players, and he's just one of those guys where you look at him, it doesn't make sense, but his production on the field has been amazing, and I'm really looking forward to see what Nolan Smith does next year. So being that I said that, and obviously our segment got completely demolished and destroyed, maybe not.
No.
There had been a rumor going around that TJ Watt and the Philadelphia Eagles were in conversation. Yeah, forget you Steelers. TJ Watt and the Philadelphia Eagles were in conversation of a potential trade. And a lot of the rumors were, well, would you trade Nolan Smith and some first-round picks, or Nolan Smith in some package, but Nolan Smith being the key player that's moving. You know, a strong up-and-comer in the league, super young. I forget how young he is, but I know he's younger than most second-year players. Georgia dog, knows how to win collegiately. Obviously, we just won a Super Bowl. What would you do if the Eagles turned around and said, hey, we're giving you one of the top 3 defensive ends in the NFL and TJ Watt today, and putting them on your roster tomorrow, and you got to give me Nolan Smith? And I am pointing at Nolan Smith because there is a calendar Nolan Smith poster up here in the room.
Yep.
Would you trade TJ Watt to get would you trade Nolan Smith, excuse me, to get TJ Watt?
Something that just popped into my head. I'm going to say yes. So right off the bat, first answer is yes. I read recently the Eagles have the most draft picks in the next couple of years, more than any team. I want to say like 16 or 18, maybe north of 20. So we have plenty of picks. Also, you would think, we're going to talk about this later on, but where the Eagles should end up this season, or their baseline where they should end up, that pick's going to be 25th or later. So if you're telling me we give up the 27th pick and Nolan Smith to get a guy who, quite frankly, not only pass rush wise, but against the run, I believe when he's in the game, they're 1 yard per carry better against the run. For example, if he's not in the game, they're giving up 5 yards per carry. When he is in the game, it's 4. That's a huge difference. Two-way player. I think of guys like Jason Pierre-Paul, who was kind of a one-sided player, just would go after his pass rush. There's plenty of guys that are like that. But Watt is the ultimate competitor. He almost feels like a Philly guy. Like if you told me the Birds drafted him in the beginning of his career, oh yeah, he's an Eagle guy.
But doesn't Nolan do too?
Yes, he does.
Nolan, so I looked up the ages. So Nolan is 24 years old, which is the age of some rookies.
That's pretty young.
And TJ Watt is 30.
30.
Now, as a 32-year-old defensive end, you could still be pretty productive, especially guys like him. You know, you saw J.J. Watt play into later on in his years, and he still had a great final few seasons. But T.J. Watt just got 3 years, $123 million extension. And I believe,
God bless
don't
him.
quote me on this, I do believe it was all guaranteed by the Steelers, showing that the Steelers aren't messing around, wanting to keep their boy. Would you be willing to take on that cap hit? I feel like the Steelers almost, and it's not because in Howie we trust, but they almost made him untradeable.
Yep.
You know,
with that amount of money in the contract. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they have Rodgers too. I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah. Because they don't want to lose out on their best players, and they just brought in the savior, which the Shane Gillis on the ESPYs, where he was like, oh, it turns out Aaron Rodgers doesn't make all the best decisions. He's like, he did take the vaccine, but he did go play for the Jets. So
yeah, I was really hoping that worked out for the Jets, but I do think if the Steelers,
I knew it wasn't.
For example, if they had Justin Fields at quarterback or they had Russell Wilson again, I don't think they sign Watt. I think this Rodgers move makes them believe that, like, hey, this is almost like the Jets. We're going to take a year or two. We're going to go for it. They just traded away Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey. I mean, my Lord, to get rid of Minka. I know his numbers last year were not good. They asked him to do more. They asked him to cover more. But
yeah, but you know what I think that was? And same reason why Pickens is out the door?
Yep.
I think, and this is why Tomlin, I think, has a job in job security. We'll see after this year. They value culture, I believe. I'm not in the locker room. But what it looks like to me is they value culture over the player. And what happened when Le'Veon Bell became a problem? Goodbye. What happened when Antonio Brown became a problem? Goodbye. What happened when what the hell? What's his face? Minka Fitzpatrick. Bye. But no, what's the other guy? Oh, George Pickens. I just said it. George Pickens has been a huge issue since day one on the Steelers. Goodbye. George Pickens can be a top 5 wide receiver in this league for years to come, and they traded him for DK Metcalf, who at best has 4 years in the league, at best.
Yeah,
being a like a dominant receiver. So I think that's why they, and I don't know too much about Minka Fitzpatrick, but every time I was looking on the field, he was definitely getting a lot of penalties. No.
Yes.
Getting into fights and shit like that.
You know what else, Dons?
And they traded that for Darius Slay and Ramsey. So it's not like Minka's gone and nobody's here. They still got 2 pretty good older cornerbacks.
When you think of DK Metcalf, you just say his name. What play do you think of, Dons? You don't think of
I think of the chase down, the interception chase down. Yeah. Is
that what you want out of your wide receiver one when you say his name? You don't think about a catch he made. But you don't think about a touchdown.
It was just so amazing, though. It was
cool.
So amazing. It was like 100-yard. It was like 102-yard chase down.
Buda Baker. I think you call it Buda Baker.
Also, the reason why I give DK Metcalf some slack is because he was at the end of his tenure, Russell Wilson, that was not very good for Seattle. He was playing with, I'm sorry, who was it last year that he was playing with? Sam Darnold.
Hey, he had a great year.
Nah, don't give me that shit.
No, that was the Vikings,
It's still
I think.
Sam Darnold. No, it's not Sam Darnold. Who was it? Geno Smith. Geno Smith. My bad, Sam Darnold. I don't see color here on the 132 podcast.
I love it.
That Geno Smith throwing the ball, which best career, like 2 years for Geno Smith is when he was throwing to DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about that. He gets a little bit too much hate in this league. DK is a good player. He's not, oh my God, like the most amazing wide receiver that there is, but he's very much like a step below A.J. Brown, where if you get the ball in his hands, and yes, you got to catch it, but again, look who's throwing you the ball. But if you get the ball in his hands, he can make special shit happen. But he's a little 50-50-ish sometimes with grabbing the ball.
When I think of DK, I'm going to do an NBA comp right now, and I'll give you the why after. He is the Dwight Howard to me. So physical specimen, absolutely athletic. But what was Dwight Howard's problem, at least in my opinion? He never got better. He never improved his elbow jumper. He never improved his ability to pass or play make. He didn't really have a lot of post moves consistently. He just depended on his athleticism. And eventually, Don, you get older, and your first step isn't as fast, or you can't jump as high. So I feel like DK's at the point where, hey, man, either it's route running or something. Rodgers is not going to tolerate this.
I do have to put some respect on Dwight Howard's name real quick, though.
Hall of Famer?
Because maybe close, borderline. He was good up until the end. He wasn't the same magnetic superstar that he always was, but he was also playing on teams that had superstars.
Champion in the bubble with the Lakers.
Exactly. Yep. So, like, let's put a little bit of respect. Not that you're disrespecting, because you're not. But Dwight Howard was a fucking baller to the day he stepped off that court. So put some respect on that man's name. DK, you wish you could be like Dwight Howard right now.
I think it's because I'm such a Kobe fan, and I've heard numerous stories about when
the Shaq effect.
when Dwight came to the Lakers, he called Kobe Bryant, and he didn't ask him the best gyms to work out in. He didn't ask him about a workout plan. He didn't ask him about a trainer. He asked him what kind of clubs or which clubs to go to. And right then and there, Kobe knew, like, you know what? He ain't about work. He's about fun. And what one of my favorite quotes is, do you like football, or do you like basketball, or do you like what it brings to your life? Money, attention, women, fame. Howard, to me, didn't seem like a guy who's always wanting to get in the gym and grind.
Yeah.
I don't know if Metcalf's the same way, man. I know the other thing I think of when I think of DK Metcalf is what? His candy-filled diet. That boy loves candy, man. So I just...
Yeah, but if you're fit and in shape, who cares? And candy's also a really good pre-workout thing to eat. It really is. It really is.
You might be right.
Because it gives you those, it's like those fake sugars, like burn faster, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I don't know the exact science to it, but supposedly it is good. But you could definitely choose better options. I feel you with that. Maybe that's why he's declining. Maybe the motherfucker have a goddamn kale smoothie and you'll be running a Fast 40 again, DK. I say that as I'm 40 pounds overweight sitting here.
Dons is running. I don't want to hear it, Dons. You're running and you're working on it. All right? But I just think Rodgers and DK is going to be a weird combo.
I look like I have somebody with a tuba that follows me around as I walk.
Yes.
Just
like, instead of the carrot in front of you, someone's trailing behind Dons.
Oh, anyways, wide load coming here, baby. Yeah, we working on it. So, yeah, I think I forgot what we were talking about, but DK Metcalf.
You gave me your two players that are going to step up for the Birds on defense this year.
Oh yeah, we were talking about T.J. Watt and Nolan Smith. So I don't think I'd do the trade. I know this sounds crazy. I know it's the wrong answer.
Loyalty.
I know it's the wrong answer, and maybe this is some I just bleed green type shit for me. But man, I just love Nolan Smith, and I truly do believe in his talent, and I think he can develop to be an absolute fucking menace in the NFL.
And he's only 24, Don. So I mean, let's say Watt plays 4 years to get to 34. Nolan's got maybe 8 to 10 years. So I almost see your side of it, you know?
But can you even look at these players with that type of like contract structure? And I think you're right with Nolan, because I think he he's like a BG. I keep pointing. My bad.
He's right there in the room with
He's
us.
he's like a BG potential type character where he can be a Philadelphian for his
life.
entire career. But the way I view it, and I think it's the way a lot of people, like, I'm thinking almost like putting people that are here for like 6 years as like Eagles lifers now. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what the people think. Like, how long do you have to be with a team in order to be considered a Philadelphia Eagle? How long do you have to be with a team to be considered a New York Jet? Right? Because Aaron Rodgers, I'm not thinking Jets. I think Brett Favre, right? I'm not thinking Jets. Although I do like to say, what is it? Jet Favre and New York Bretts.
Yep.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite, and still continues to be one of my favorite things to randomly say for no reason.
Yeah, the big thing with Brett Favre was he liked to take too many pictures on his phone. Apparently, that was his thing.
Chill, bro. If I was QB1, I'd be sending and slinging that shit everywhere too, bro.
Send it over. Send it.
I would do it. He lived in a different day and age, bro. And then honestly, I know I think he's done other bad shit too.
Yeah, I was going to go there.
But still, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how long does somebody, like, McNabb's not a Viking. He's not a commander, or I should say Redskin at the time.
I got one. How about Terrell Owens as an Eagle? He only played with us for, 2-3 years, but the season where he broke his leg, went to the Super Bowl, and still had 13 catches, I almost want to say, like, yeah, he's an Eagle.
Yeah, I see him as an Eagle too.
Right?
That's the thing, though. It's like, that's the type of mentality it takes for you to be a lifer. You know, T.O. would have never left. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that.
Team
T.O.
obliterator.
will do whatever the hell T.O. wants to do. Shout out T.O. taking that picture with McClusker and Shane Gillis after the
Yes.
ESPYs. That was such a
Yes.
cool picture. I was like, yo, that's so tight that these two dudes out here just like live, and Matt not so much because he's not so big into sports, but just living childhood dreams of seeing like the people that you idolize so much.
I realized Owens did for the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah. He went to the Cowboys directly after the Eagles on
What a
purpose, I
fucking
believe. On purpose.
He was so good with the Cowboys, too.
Yeah, too bad the Cowboys could never get their head out of their ass. Oh, wait, yeah, garbage, and I hate you, and I'm glad that you are never successful, not in my lifetime. Or conscious lifetime, I should say.
I mean, we'll get to division rankings probably closer to the season, but it's going to be between them and Washington.
Hey, you never know, dude. You never know. The football is that's why it's exciting, because you from zero to hero, baby. That Hercules factor is real. So, in conclusion, I know I'm wrong, but I'd rather keep Nolan Smith. I don't want TJ Watt around here. Not for a first round capita and a defensive end that I think is going to be that 12 to 15 sack guy. I think he can do it, dude. I really do. The performance that he had at the last half of the year and in the playoffs, and being able to being myself once 23 and becoming 24 and feeling the physical changes in your body. He even looks like he's getting a little bit thicker. Yep. Boy! So I'd rather keep Nolan Smith.
Yep. I think the other thing I could see Nolan becoming is one thing I've read about the Eagles is they lost a lot of quote-unquote leadership.
Yeah.
I could see him stepping into that role and growing into being more vocal and not just letting his play show and being sort of a leader on the defense, which is one thing the Eagles might need this year.
See, I'd rather... I'm kind of with you on that. I'd rather... I like him to be the player who he's going to be. I don't know him, not on the field with him, all this other shit, right? But to me, Nolan Smith looks like a guy that just puts his hand on the ground and just grinds for Pater. He just works. And sometimes the best leadership is just being out there working. Because what are you going to do when the guy that stays 3 hours late after practice, the guy that's in 2 hours before everything, the guy that is consistently battling through injury and still playing, giving you high production, and he looks at you and is like, come on, man, are you serious? And you're just having a bad day because your crypto stock fucking tanked. Like, you know what I mean? Or you stubbed your toe, or your girl freaking threw away your favorite blanket and you're out here playing like shit because you're pouting and shit. Meanwhile, Nolan Smith got like 3 broken ribs and is limping, and he's still getting sacks out there. Like, that's the type of player that BG was, I think. And I think that's the type of leader and player that he can be. I think Nakobe, or again, we do have Zach Bond. I think we're good with leadership, to be honest. I think the young players respect Reed Blankenship enough that if Reed plays good ball, he can be kind of that vocal, come on, we can do it type. Hey, let's go. Q4 is going to be the best one
Come
yet.
on, guys,
like that,
you
that
can do
type
it.
of leader. And yeah, maybe it's because he's white I did that voice.
And that's okay.
And I think Quinyon is just the type of guy that can lock your shit down and be that dude, that like superstar. So, I don't know, man. I think, no, you know what? As I talk this through, you're totally right, dude. We need to find leaders, because other than Bond, Reed, and what are you gonna do, Jalen Carter, bro? Jalen Carter can't be our leader.
No,
he can't be our leader. We're gonna be freaking curb stopping quarterbacks out here if Jalen Carter's our leader.
I'll tell you one thing about Jalen Carter, though. He's in a contract year, or like this is the year where he's about to earn his money. So you thought he was dominant and mean last year? Oh, my God. I can't wait to watch this dude wreck games, bro.
I hope so. I didn't even know he was going into his contract here. I didn't even think about that. This would be year 3, right?
It's one of those things where this is the year where he's eligible to get paid early.
Yeah.
And we haven't paid him yet. So it's sort of that unspoken thing of like, oh, you guys are not paying me early. Okay, no problem.
Well, nah, to be fair to the Eagles, man, he was a huge question mark walking into the season. So
Risk.
I hear them. All right, moving on, dude. What did I want to talk about? There's something that was really freaking grinding my gears today in the last like couple of days. And now that I'm here, I have no idea what the hell it is.
I have one other piece of news that it's not about the Eagles, but it will affect the Eagles in a couple of weeks. So we were just talking about Jalen Carter being in a little bit of trouble, and that caused him to fall. Another man who got in some trouble recently, Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. Just got booked, charged, whatever you want to say. The end story, the bottom line is he's probably going to be suspended 3, 4, 6 games. And who do the Eagles play in week 2 in Kansas City? Those Chiefs. So
that's good for us.
Rashee Rice was hurt last year on a freaky play. Don't go back and watch it. It was actually Mahomes is the one who injured him, trying to make a tackle right into his knee.
Oh, Jesus.
Talk about a guy who has gotten lucky on numerous occasions. Shout out to Nick Wright for bringing this up. He got lucky. He didn't hurt his knee even more. He's able to come back and play this year. He got lucky when he was in the car accident. He didn't kill anybody. And he's lucky that he didn't injure himself in the car accident. So talk about a guy who's, what is it when you go to the casino, drawing 9s or 7s or whatever the lucky number. I think it's 7. He's hit the jackpot in regards to being lucky, man. So a guy where, no, he's not an Eagle, but in week 2, I'm going to be glad he's not on the field.
Yeah, you know what you remind me of? Maybe it's insulting, but I'm not trying to be that way.
No.
And you're not this person. You're not.
It's okay.
But when you do your research and like you talk about stuff sometimes, I feel like you're always bringing up the negative shit in everything. Like I don't want to talk about all the bad stuff.
Come on. Like
at
what?
all.
What's negative?
I don't care that we do it. I don't care that you do it. But I just like that does not interest me like that much to like hammer on it. But it is important to say, it is important to know, and it is interesting. So I'm not hating on the things that you
defenses top 10 or bottom 10 in points allowed per game?
I really hate to do this because I love the Birds, but I think it's more likely that they'll be bottom 10 than top 10. I think they're going to be more of a middle of the pack team. I think they might flirt with like 12 to 10 range, but for them to be top 10, I think is a big ask. Too many question marks for me to pout my chest out here and be like the Birds are that ish on defense.
Leaning on a lot of young players.
Yeah, leaning on a lot of young players, leaning on the hopes and dreams that everybody's just as hungry this year as they are last year. That's why I say less. I think it's less probable.
The only thing that gives me hope is I heard Zach Bond talking about this, I believe, leading up to the Super Bowl, that it might have been after. Historically, teams in their second season under Fangio, there's less thinking and more reacting. So the team overall and the players now have another year of Vic's defense, the way he coaches, how intense he is. It seems like it's sort of a we play our scheme, and the more reps you have and the more snaps, the better you get at it. The reads, the reactions, where to go, playing off each other. Where on Cooper DeJean's pick six against Mahomes that I watch probably once a week now, it's all about the coverage. Yeah. Bond covered the flat for him, so he knew, okay, the flat is covered. I can kind of drift towards the middle, and the rest is history. So Fangio in his second season and the players sort of having that understanding gives me hope. But I can't say I disagree with you, Dons. There's a lot of question marks on this defense.
And actually, for what you just said is the reason why I think it's going to be more likely to be bottom. Because for six people, it's not year two. And that's every defense, no matter what offense you do, what defense you just through osmosis, through doing, like you just become one with it, and it becomes just like work. You go into work, your first couple months, you're like, fuck. By month 6, you think you got it, and then you go to do something, you freak out because you don't remember, and then you're like, oh, no, I got this in my notes. Okay, I remember. It takes me a little bit longer, and then by year 2, you don't have to ask anybody how to do anything because you've been doing it for so long. You just crank it out. It's like same thing nature. With learning a defensive or offensive scheme. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to be in it. Whether you're good or bad, that's on you. But to have 6 new players pick up that defense, I'm concerned.
Number 3.
I am worried.
Hey, there's reason to be worried, Dons. But let's get to number 3. Let's get to the man himself, Saquon Barkley. Carried the ball over 420 times last season. Typically, historically, we did an episode on it maybe a month and a half ago. We went over all the running backs and their year, the fantastic year they had, and the huge, steep decline in production that usually comes the following year. So I say all that to say, what's more likely, Dons? Saquon is top 10 in rushing yards or outside the top 12?
Top 10. We still got a nasty offensive line. We're still going to be leaning on the run. We should be leaning on the run still. We'll have a little bit more help from our other running backs, but I still think to go from number 1 to like 15, and this caveat barring injury, of course, for Saquon, but if Saquon plays how many games is it, 17 or is that 18? If Saquon plays all 17, then I don't see how we fall out of top 10.
I'm just pulling up quickly the leaders from last year. Saquon led the NFL with 2,000 rushing yards. Number 2 was Derrick Henry. 3 was Bijan. Now,
Bijan the bust.
One of my favorite clips. So Bijan was 3rd this year, and he had 500 less yards than Saquon. So he was just absolutely dominant last year with Saquon.
And Bijan had a great season last year.
So if you go down to number 15, it was Joe Mixon at just over 1,000 yards, 1,016. So let that sink in. Saquon had over 2,000. We had I'll say it was only 2 guys with over 1,500 yards, and number 15 only had 1,000. So I'm with you, Dons. I don't think he's fallen that low.
No
God
way.
forbid nothing happens to him. But I expect guys like Shipley, and I am hesitant to say his name, but A.J. Dillon is maybe somebody who gets those goal line carries.
He's going to be the man, bro.
You think he's going to make the team?
Yes.
Okay.
I think if he doesn't make the team, somebody's going to easily pick him up.
All right, so we're in agreement on Saquon. He should still be in the top 10. Number 4, the Eagles started off last season, many forget, 2-2. before going on a magical run.
Could have easily been 3-1, by the way.
Yep. If Saquon would have caught that ball against the Falcons, the rest is history. I
Could
remember
have easily been 3-1.
crucifying him for it.
Sorry, I was listening to some sports radio on the way here, and people keep going, well, Jalen Hurts was 2-2, and Josh Allen, Josh Allen, fucking sucking the proverbial Josh Allen dick. Not that he's not great.
He's good.
But, bro, we were one catch away from being 3-1. That's not a terrible start. Like, it was fucking annoying.
And not to
I'm
mention,
sorry to cut you off. That just really pissed me off.
Not to mention the defense in that Falcons game. They drove right down the field on us after they couldn't move the ball most of the game. Slay got beat by London. I can like it's yesterday. Anyway, Eagles started off 2-2 last season with a magical run afterwards, ending in an absolute beatdown of the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs. What's more likely, Dons? Another slow start for the Birds or an undefeated month of September? Now, before you answer, let me give you the schedule. At home, first the Cowboys in week 1, at the Chiefs in week 2, and I have in parentheses, likely no Rashee Rice due to his suspension.
Yeah.
Number 3, at home against the Rams, who we just played in the playoffs, and then the dreaded, what I would call the kryptonite of the Birds, in Tampa Bay
Bucks.
against those Buccaneers. R.I.P. Jigga Man. So, Dons, I'll ask you one more time. What's more likely, another slow start for the Birds or an undefeated month of September?
Slow start. We got a new offensive coordinator. We have a little bit new of an offensive line. Not super new because Steen's playing the first 4 years, which is what I'm assuming is going to happen. Should be pretty solidified, and the defense needs some time to kind of gel together. And winning 4 games in a row was freaking tough, man. I hate to say it, man, but I'd rather say slow start than undefeated.
I think so, too. I mean, look at that schedule. Cowboys, say what you want about them. They're never an easy game for us. Dak Prescott is another fantasy guy. Take notes, guys. Prescott to the moon this year. CeeDee Lamb with George Pickens and the tight end, I think is Ferguson. Ooh, they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. So Prescott always kills the Eagles in Kansas City. Do you think the Chiefs are going to be motivated to play the Eagles after what we did to them? Belt to ass? I think so.
Yeah,
Then,
for sure.
A lot of people would say the Rams played the Eagles the toughest in the playoffs. If you look at the NFC Championship game, an absolute beatdown of Washington. Super Bowl, absolute beatdown. The Rams game, I know you remember, Dons, they're driving with 2-3 minutes left. If not for Jalen Carter's sack, there's a guy open in the middle of the field. Who knows what would have happened, but after you play the Rams, then we got to go to Tampa Bay, where it all started. And let's go back 2 years, Dons, where they absolutely pantsed us in the playoff game. It was embarrassing to watch. I wasn't even mad. I was more shocked at how terrible the Eagles played against Tampa 2 years ago, I believe, in the playoffs.
I wasn't shocked at all, but yeah.
Oh, my God. And then last year, they
that was like a
beat us again.
0. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a 0 shock factor for me. The whole entire season was like, yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen. We're just going to get boat raced by a good team. We're a bad team. People kept coming up to me, oh, you guys are 9-0 or 10-1, 10-1, 10-1. You guys are great. And I kept being like, nah, really, dude. We're kind of getting lucky.
Something's
we're doing
off.
a lot of mistakes. We're playing really ugly. We're just beating teams that we have more talent than. I'm like, we're not a good team. They're like, oh, you're crazy. You should be happy. And I'm like, bro, like, you're not watching these games. And what happened? We flamed the out. Sorry.
It's okay. No, you're right. And you actually started the last question, or I'm going to start this one, Dons. Last question was about the Eagles' slow start. And the first thing you mentioned was who? The new offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo stepping in as offensive coordinator and or play caller this year after being on the staff in 2024 and watching who other than Kellen Moore, new head coach of the New Orleans Saints, lead this offense to an unbelievable success and a Super Bowl champion. So Patullo has some big shoes to fill, if you ask me, Don. So what's more likely? Patullo is back with the Eagles in 2026, or Does Jalen Hurts have his 5, 6, 7, 8th new offensive coordinator in 2026, Dons? What's more likely? Patullo is back in 2026, or we have another new name stepping in to lead the offense in 2026?
On some anime shit, yo, I feel like Jalen Hurts is being followed around by a generational curse and something that has been possessing him for generations in his family, where he can't have a form of stability, so he becomes stability himself. I was talking about this earlier, and I wanted to use that this just thing with Don's and talk about a man that just breeds out excellence as a Jordan athlete, out there rocking, winning Super Bowls, being doubted, everybody telling him that he ain't shit and he's not a top 10 quarterback, that everybody else under the sun is better, yet he out here 2 Super Bowls, 1 Super Bowl win, 1 Super Bowl MVP, out here winning national championships, being that dude, being a picture. And I didn't want to say this because obviously the color of my skin, I'm a very white man, but talk about a pictured role model, talk about just black excellence. And like, he's an excellent, like, excellence as a man, yes, but black excellence and being a role model of who your kids can look up to, who's a good person, which I will not bring the negativity into it. But man, Jalen Hurts is that dude, bro. So I low-key really do think Jalen Hurts is Kurtz, and I think Kevin Patullo will be out next year because I think it's going to be an actual decent season. And Kevin might get an offer to be a head coach after this year. That's the problem with having good teams, dude. And it's not just the NFL. And I don't know Kevin Patullo. I don't know shit about Kevin Patullo. I just know the things that I read say he gets along with Nick Sirianni, all this other stuff. But from what I know, there's so many colleges out there that'll throw a book at him. There's other NFL teams that'll be like, oh, you've been with the Eagles organization for a while. You're a champion. Come have a shot over here. So I think it's more likely that we are getting a new offensive coordinator than Kevin staying.
I actually am going to go the other way because it's his first because it's his first season as offensive coordinator, and I feel like he's been, what I also read is he's supposedly Nick's right-hand man last year, and now somebody else is going to have to step up and do that. But I think 1 year of success, like, I know Kellen Moore just got hired as a head coach, but I feel like Kevin won't get as much credit if the offense is successful because of the team that we have.
Look at me.
Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown.
Look at me.
Devontae Smith.
Jonathan. Look at me.
What?
Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon is a head coach off of a year and a half's worth of performance.
Wow.
Shane Steichen is a head coach of 2 years of performance.
I don't know if people believe in Patullo like
Frank
that.
Wright, which I know Frank Wright has obviously a track record.
Frank Wright.
But Frank Wright,
love him.
1 good year of performance with the Philadelphia Eagles, and then bam, this happens all the time, bro.
I don't think Patullo's. You know who it doesn't happen to?
The Patriots and Bill Belichick.
No, we don't have to go down the Sirianni train, but like, it doesn't happen to guys like Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, Andy Reid, because they're offensive geniuses. They run it all. Anyway,
that's actually not true because they lose defensive coordinators all the time, and special teams coordinators all the time.
Fine.
Yeah, but we're talking about coordinators though. That's the thing though.
Offensive coordinator.
No, the question's offensive coordinators, but you're saying that it doesn't happen to these coaches. It does, just on the other sides of the ball. Football's more than just throwing the ball and snapping it.
Yes. Okay, so
I do get what you're saying though.
So that is the end of What's More Likely with KP and Dons.
I have one more thing that I want to touch about, and I don't want to spend forever and a day on it.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm ready.
But did you see the ESPN list of top 10 quarterbacks?
Was he 12 or 11?
So
Hurts.
Let's go down the list, and let's just see how do you feel? How do you feel about where Jalen Hurts is ranked? You, Uncle Sam, motherfucker. How do you feel? All right, so we're going to start at the top because everybody knows who the top is. I know you're looking right at it, so you kind of ruined it. So the drum roll is unnecessary. But 1, Kermit the Frog, Patrick Mahomes. He's obviously number 1, should be number 1. I'm not even going to talk about it. Number 2, which is debatable for a lot of people, but I think they actually got right. Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. Guy puts his team on his back year in and year out and freaking drags the Bills to the AFC Championship game all the damn time, or loses to the Chiefs in the Conference Championship game, and probably the AFC's usually best game of the playoffs is usually like Bills Ravens or Bills Chiefs. Usually the best game. Anyway, so Josh Allen gets ranked number 2.
1 second. I don't know how you're receiving this or reading it, Don, but to me, it's if I'm starting a new franchise, i.e. when the Houston Texans came out, and I got to pick my choice of quarterback, this would be the ranking of which quarterback I would want to lead my team for the next 15 years. How do you read this or receive it?
No, so I don't rank it that way because the list that they provided was based off of the performance that occurred last year.
Okay,
so they're
this is
saying,
last year.
to me, this is how I say it. I'm not saying you're wrong. This is just how I'm taking it. So to me, it's saying like this is what the output was of the year before. This is, the past 4 years of track records. If the season starts tomorrow, who's the better player, right? Who's going to be, and again, being a better player is not necessarily just throwing the ball faster, being accurate. It's also about flat out fucking winning, right? Like Josh Allen's a winner. They're constantly contending for a title. Patrick Mahomes is constantly winning Super Bowls and contending for a title. Lamar Jackson is constantly fighting to get into the AFC Championship game. You know what I mean? These guys are all accomplished and
winners.
Smile, whatever. I know it sounds like that was like a cheeky remark towards Lamar Jackson, but that's fucking some impressive ass shit.
Yeah.
Always battling to get to the AFC Championship game. Number 3 is where I got beef with. Talk about somebody living off of their laurels 2 years ago. Joe Burrow. Guy who has a stacked ass offense. I know your offensive line is kind of trash. I get it, but you have some of the best receivers. No, there's been a lot of injuries and stuff like that, but I'm starting to think Joe Burrow's kind of a little bit. He is Justin Herbert Sr. Justin Herbert Sr.
Interesting.
Joe Burrow gets a little bit too much credit, bro. Get your team into the playoffs before you start telling me you're the top 3 freaking quarterback in the league. I don't give a shit about whatever excuse you got. Josh Allen just did it, bro. Who the hell is Josh Allen's number freaking 1 receiver? Shaquille O'Neal, whatever the fuck his name was, bro. Get out of here with that Joe Burrow shit. I know he's nasty, great, but he's slow, can't really move out of the pocket that well. Whatever. Joe Burrow, number 3, whack as fuck.
Wait, hold on. Before you go to number 4, there was in the quarterback series, they have a lot of mic'd up moments. When the Bengals lost to the Chiefs this year, Steve Spagnuolo went over to Burrow and he said, hey, other than our guy, you're the best in the league, which was kind of eye-opening to me because I respect Spagnuolo a lot. And that's all I want to say about that.
I feel that. I'm not saying Joe Burrow's a slouch, but fucking getting to the damn playoffs, bro. If you ain't in the playoffs, bro, you out of the conversation. Because the greatest players will take your team to the fucking wild card. Excuse my language. I don't know why I'm so passionate about this.
That's okay.
But still, it's like you can't get to the wild card. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You don't even have a name tag. Number 4, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar's been a baller since day one. Even though he's not and hasn't been the best throwing quarterback, from day one, his legs had made him one of the most dynamic players in the sports history. Very much, not quite Michael Vick-ish, but
closest thing in our generation.
That type of impact to the field where you can really make special shit happen. I'm not beefing with Lamar Jackson at number 4. Again, I think a little bit con sonido right here. A little bit too much.
Here's my beef coming up right here.
Yeah, a little bit too much sniffing. What's the shit I'm looking for? Anyways, everybody on his dick too much. Just like this next guy. But I do think Lamar Jackson has a home in the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. Undoubtedly.
One more thing before we go to number 5, Dons. Who has more playoff... Oh, excuse me. Let's combine the amount of Super Bowls that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have been to and then compare it to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has 1, and those 2 have 0.
0.
So that's my only thing for Joe Burrow is he did take his team to the Super Bowl.
I agree with you.
And I can just see him right now. He's about to throw that ball to Jamar Chase, who beat Jalen Ramsey, and instead he gets sacked.
You know who else made it to 1 Super Bowl?
Who's that?
Jake Daylight comes and you gotta Delhomme, bro. Get the hell out of here
Jake
with that
Delhomme.
shit, bro. Get me into the playoffs. I don't give a damn about your Super Bowl. Jake Delhomme got it to the playoffs. Rex Grossman made it to the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear it. You're not top 5 if you can't get into the wild card. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Burrow.
Anyways.
Who's next?
Number 5. This is
beef.
the one that I have the biggest beef with of all times. One good rookie season, can run the ball, throw the ball, easily can say, actually, you know what? Fuck that.
Say it.
Fuck that.
Say it.
Everybody's out here saying Jaden Daniels single-handedly took the Commanders and made them into the NFC Championship game, which everybody knows what the hell happened with Detroit and how injured they were in that game.
Yep.
Not to say they didn't play great last year and they didn't have a good season, but Jaden Daniels off of one freaking year saying that he's the number 5 quarterback in the entire NFL. I get it. You want to start a franchise. He's definitely in the pool because he was a rookie last year and he is an amazing talent. But number 5, bro, number 5, are you serious? Did you see that offensive performance in the playoffs in the NFC Championship game? Are we not gonna actually take a look at the coaching staff and all Austin Eckler, Zach Ertz, all the other veteran players that they brought to this team to stabilize them and make them a football program and not a laughingstock?
Yeah.
People that say Jaden Daniels single-handedly took the Commanders from 0 to fucking hero. I don't know why I love saying that so much.
0 to hero.
Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. Just give me a break. Jaden Daniels is not that dude yet. See what I'm saying, bro? The thumbs down, bro.
Nah, bro.
All that stuff that I
Sorry.
was saying, bro. I could have just not said any of it and just went Jaden Daniels. Not a bad player. Doesn't deserve top 5 for me.
It's almost like the
Especially
flavor of the
over
week.
Hurts.
Flavor of the week, man.
Yeah,
He's just the hot
really
new
is, bro.
thing, the hot new trend. What's the
my
trend
boy's,
now? I don't know what people are doing, but he
Damn.
seems like the new trendy thing online.
I can't think of a good flavor, so I'm just going to say what came to mind. My boy's a grape Jolly Rancher, bro. Just so delicious and succulent in my mouth.
Yep.
And
Well,
then
let's see if he can
poof,
keep it up this
gone.
year, you know? The
I hope he
second
does
year-
well. If he can give me 2-3 years of good performance, and even if he has a down slump next year and then another great season the way he did last year, I'm all for putting him on the top list.
Yep.
I even told my brothers, I was like, yo, because my brothers are huge Patriots fans, I was like, the Patriots should go after Jaden Daniels. He's going to be way better than Drake May, my opinion, of course. I'm like, if they get Jaden Daniels, they will win more games this year than they will with Drake May. And they're like, no, I'm Drake May. I'm from Boston. All that shit that they said. But I think I was right. You?
Yes. One more thing before we go to number 6, Dons. Let's pause time right now because, you know, we can do that on the podcast. Let's go back just 12 calendar months. And which other young quarterback was coming off a fantastic rookie season, led the AFC Houston Texans to the playoffs, and all of a sudden, his second year, he didn't play as well. His team was injured. He couldn't carry himself. And now nobody's really talking about C.J. Stroud. So I'm not saying that Daniels is going to fall into the same category. All I'm saying is players have a great rookie season. And then what happens, Dons? You played football. You watch film. You watch film on what he does well. What does he not do well? Should we blitz him from a strong side? Should we blitz him from the weak side? Should we drop back and play coverage? Can we confuse him? Let's see if Daniels is as lethal this year as he was last year.
Yeah. And I think you're being a little hard on C.J. Stroud, but I do get your overall principle of, like, people aren't talking about him like he's the Messiah.
Sophomore slump, man.
But
It's real.
I hear you.
It's real.
Just off of what I watched from C.J. Stroud, like, I didn't think he had a bad season last year. Not as magical as it was the first year.
Fair.
But with, like, the injuries and all the shit going on, like,
Tank Dell,
Yeah.
Diggs. Yep.
I don't
He
think
got
that's very
injuries.
fair to him to be, like, you know, bum or whatever. But
Not
I'm with
bum,
you. I am
but-
with you. I do get your overlaying principle here. Number 6, Matthew. I got to get surgery, Stafford.
I know. I almost have no emotion when I look at him like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, he's still a gunslinger. Kind of like the Brett Favre of our era, right?
Yeah, minus the picks.
Yeah. The pictures on his phone.
No,
or
like the
pics?
actual like ridiculous amount of interceptions that Brett
Yeah.
Favre throws. Matthew Stafford, I think, is a little better, older in his career. is a lot safer with the football.
You know what I think about Stafford when I see him? If he didn't spend 10, 12 years in Detroit, just put him on an average team, Dons. Put him on, I don't know, I was going to say the Rams, but he ended up on the Rams. But put him on the Vikings. Put him on the Packers. Put him on the Broncos. And I feel like we look at Stafford so differently. I think his talent, his ability, his mind, he's so sharp, but he just played in a dump in Detroit for so long where, similar to the Washington Wizards of the NBA, it doesn't really appear like they're trying to win, at least when he was there. Now, Detroit has definitely turned the corner now. Goff, the new coach, Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Laporta. But back when Stafford was there, it felt like he wasted his career on a bad team.
Ownership, too, right? Because the owner of the Lions
passed away.
Yeah, passed away, right? It's a
Rest
new
in
owner.
peace.
Well, new head of family owner, whatever the hell it is.
I like Stafford, but
I like Stafford, too, but, like,
sixth?
I mean, top 10, I can give him 6.
He's got a Super Bowl. I'll say that.
No, he does. He does. There's a little bit, though, like the LeBron Super Bowl in the bubble. No, I shouldn't say that. It does feel more of a bought Super Bowl than it was like a earned Super Bowl. It's different in the NFL. It is a lot harder. So I don't discredit him for him. But the number 6...
A little high, maybe.
A little high, but I'm not mad at it.
No.
Not mad
Neutral
at it.
on that one.
I mean,
Who's
I think
number
he's
7?
Today,
Oh my
what
God.
he knows, I think he's better than Jalen, for sure, at Stafford. As far as
Same
just
number of Super
intellect,
Bowls.
arm throw, knowing what to do. I mean, he almost beat us in the freaking conference game.
He's a vet.
He's a good quarterback. I'm cool with him.
Tough as nails, too. I
Yeah,
could see
and I'm
him
not gonna
holding
I'm
his
pissed.
shoulder.
I'm pissed that Daniels is number 5, and I'm not mad that Matthews is number 6.
Agreed.
Over Hurts.
But this guy.
Talk about Joe
This
Burrow
guy.
Jr.
Oh, my
Justin
God.
Herbert at number 7. I don't even want to give this life a conversation, dude. Justin Herbert does not belong on this list. 4 interceptions in one of the most important games of his entire career. Guys always falling short. He is a poor man's Phillip Rivers. I don't think Justin Herbert is going to be a successful quarterback in this league as far as winning championships or getting to championship games. I think this guy is going to be a notorious in and out of the conference championship as long as he stays with the Chargers. If he gets a great coach, which I know you like the coach that they have, Harbaugh.
Mr.
I hear you.
Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh.
But
I
I
love him. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Exactly. I don't think Herbert needs that type of coach, though.
Too much rah-rah?
No. I just think you need like a quarterback-centric guy for this guy. Like a McVay. Like
Did Kellen Moore coordinate for him?
Kellen
Or call plays
type.
for him?
Like, yeah, I think so. I think his
he
best
did.
season was in the Kellen Moore. Like guys
Yeah.
like that, I think. It's not that I don't like Harbaugh. I just talk
about
about
this,
being
Dons?
overrated, bro. I get it. He's hot. He's tall. He throws the ball. And here's the stat that people piss me off. He has like the most comebacks, wins, whatever. Why the fuck you losing in the first place, bro? Be a good quarterback and get your team to lead. Stop sweating it. I get it. I get why people are like Justin Herbert. But to me, you don't belong on this list, dude. Get out of here. You should be number 10 at best. Number 8.
boring.
A
Mr.
guy
Vanilla.
that if you're 8 through 10, I'm not complaining about it. Jared Goff really has worked his ass off to be a great quarterback in this league. I can't take that away from him. The things that he's willing to do, the like machismo, like I'm that dude energy that he does not give out. He seems just like Jalen, will do anything for his fucking team that he's asked to do. I'm cool with Jared Goff being number 8, but better than Hurts or not better than Hurts?
No. Now, we're at the point in the list-ons where, like, you can, on a weekly basis, I feel like you can move somebody from 6 to 10, from 8 to 6, from 7 to 10, from 11 to 8. We're at that point now where we can move these guys around. The other thing about Goff I want to talk about, he was also in the quarterback series. Now, publicly, he's made comments in the past about the relationship with Sean McVay, how, according to Goff, there was no conversation. There was no, like, hey, we're going to be looking to trade you. We're going to be looking to get rid of you. All of a sudden, he woke up and he was traded. And he talked
Showbiz,
about
baby.
how shocked he was, how much it hurt him. And I think that's part of what we're seeing with the Lions now is a different type of Jared Goff, a grown-up, more professional, where he will stand in the pocket and take hits and be a leader. But I don't think he was that guy with the Rams. It almost feels like he had to feel that pain to grow and to become the quarterback he is. But, man, if you go back, Dons, let's not forget, I think it was Goff 1 and Wentz 2 in that draft.
Would still rather have Wentz.
Yeah, me too.
Would still rather have Wentz, dude. That year Wentz had was the most amazing year I've seen almost any quarterback have.
Near MVP, Dons.
Yeah, no.
Would have been MVP if he would have just
by
slid.
a landslide.
If he would have slid.
I know, but then we probably would have won the Super Bowl.
That's true. You're right. So, and
Or
by
maybe
the way,
not, dude. Imagine Carson just like he just has an amazing career.
Speaking of,
whatever, because we have Jalen.
you know who's a free agent
coming
right
in-
now? Wentz is a free agent. Just saying. Anyway,
Screw him. Coming in at number 9.
Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl
MVP.
champion. Super Bowl MVP. Jordan Michael Jordan squad member, bro. He is part of the Jordan crew. Jalen Hurts, number 9. How disrespectful for my boy to come in at number 9 behind Herbert, who's a loser, behind Goff, who hasn't won anything, behind Stafford, who's pretty old, but I'm kind of cool with that. Did I say Jaden Daniels already? Before one Super Bowl, freaking Joe Burrow. Did I remind you? Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts also went to Super Bowl and lost. Just like you, bro. You don't got anything on this man. I don't give a shit what you say. You have 2 nasty wide receivers just like he does. Jalen Hurts at number 9 is criminal.
Number 5 was Daniels. Let's combine 5, 6, 7, 8 Super Bowl appearances, okay? Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, Herbert, and who was it again? So Daniels, Stafford,
Goff.
Herbert, and Goff have been to a combined 1 Super Bowl. Jalen has been to 2. And there's no doubt if you watch the game, Jalen Hurts was elite in that game, making throws all over the field. No, we didn't win the game.
Yeah, because the refs gave it to the Chiefs.
If you just watch him, he was elite in that game. Unbelievable.
We probably would have won that game, bro, if that field goal didn't just burn all the time. That was a bullshit call. Everybody knows it. Bradbury gets villainized. The NFL literally fired freaking referees for helping the Chiefs win. I've been saying it forever. Everybody was always like, oh, you're just saying that. Yeah, Patriots this, Patriots that. No, fuck you, bro. It was the truth. Everybody could see it. Smells like a fish. Looked like a fish.
It's
and
a
it
fish.
ain't your ex-girlfriend. It's definitely a fish. Number 10.
It's an interesting name.
Number 10. See, this is what I'm talking about here. This
I like this guy.
can be Justin Herbert. This could be Jared Goff. But the person that deserves it this year,
Could be
because
Caleb
of what he
Williams.
has done, is the man that is on this list, is properly placed on this list, and could potentially climb up this list next year if he has a good season. The one and only. Get your oven ready
Bake Show.
for Baker Mayfield.
Bake Show.
Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This guy came in and proved that he could lead his army through sleet, rain, hail, and hose. Baker Mayfield balled the hell out this year. Great offensive weapon. This guy's a little Brett Favre, where he will throw some insane passes that it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that just went through the visor of a defensive back.
Yeah. How did
and
they
Mike
not get
Evans
picked
caught
that
it.
off?
To why'd you just throw it to the cornerback standing in the flat that ran it back to a touchdown? Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that will lead you to a game-winning drive and then go crush a beer on the sideline and get a penalty for the extra point and then to miss the field goal. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said that. But Baker belongs here, number 10. Who else would you rather have here? Jordan Love? No. Next.
No, but you know what comes to mind when I think of Baker, and this is a little in left field, but let's think of him as a stock, Dons, okay? First pick overall, the stock is high as it can be. It's NVIDIA, it's Google, it's Apple, and what happened to him? The Browns, I mean, he was probably thought of as unstartable, a backup for life, or maybe a guy who might not even be in the league.
Yeah.
And what has he done with his career? Turned it around. Now, we have seen some others do it. Sam Darnold, top 3 pick, turned himself around. Geno Smith, not in that same category in regards to the ceiling or ability, but I got to give a lot of credit to Baker, man. A lot of these guys, let's not forget about the money aspect and the human aspect. Guys got millions in the bank, didn't need to go back and
grind it out. Yeah.
Become the guy he is now on another team. I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, and now they have Emeka Egbuka, 4 stud wide receivers. The Bucks are going to be a problem next year.
This guy loves ball, and you can see that he loves ball, and I can respect that, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is? And again, this is not Baker Mayfield. What I'm saying is just for the hee-hee-ha-has. He reminds me of a guy that got sober, put on the straight and narrow, and turned his life around. That's what Baker reminds me of, like a regular day common folk, and he's been 15 years with a chip, and he hasn't drank or done anything for 15 years. Great family, all this other shit. That's Baker Mayfield. So honorable mentions, CJ Stroud, Jordan Love, whatever. Jordan Love, whatever. The most whatever looking dude, the most whatever playing dude.
Jordan-like, that's what I call him.
Yeah, Jordan-like.
Jordan-like.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I like him.
Jordan-like at the Green Bay Packers. I love that. That's fantastic. So, Hurts being at number 9. Do you think ESPN has him ranked properly?
Definitely not. But I was just going to ask you where he should be. I mean, we're Eagles fans, but I'd still have him probably 5th, maybe 6th.
Yeah. I would definitely take Jaden Daniels out here and put Hurts at 5. I can easily see myself putting Matthew Stafford at 5, just given the veteran the respect that he deserves.
He's earned it.
And so has Jalen, though, too, right? This isn't necessarily year 2 of his career, right? But, yeah, definitely earned it. I think 5, man. 5 or 6 for Jalen. Like, and I know, like, Joe Burrow, it could be 4 or 5 for Jalen because Joe Burrow, again, getting to the playoffs. But, yeah, I think, honestly, I would have him at 5 or 6. You?
Yeah, 5 or 6. I think my brain goes to, like, what if, I know this is a what if, but what if Burrow was on the Eagles and Hurts was on the Bengals? How much success would each of those guys had? Of course, they would change the course of football and all the above, but
yeah, you're right.
The supporting cast, I mean, you mentioned it when you talked about Burrow. Great talent around him, but the big thought was, do the Bengals take Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell? Should they protect their asset or get him a nice shiny weapon? Now, I love watching Jamar Chase run routes. He was just ranked the number 1 wide receiver. But, man, I'd love to see Burrow with some protection like Hurts has. I mean, there's a beautiful shot, a screenshot of the dagger to Devontae Smith and the beautiful pocket that Hurts has. Literally every person is doing their job on the offensive line. Hurts is able to step up and throw a beautiful dime. Burrow doesn't get a lot of those opportunities because he's always running around chasing himself.
Yeah, for sure. But that's like
that's football.
That's just professional sports.
That's ball.
You can never take that one player and put him into a scenario that the other person's in with the same cast of conditions. You just can't. So you got to deal with what you got to deal with. But anyways, dude, this was fun.
This wraps up,
bro. You good with the wrap up?
Yeah, this is good. No, go ahead.
What, you got something else for me?
No. I was just gonna wrap it up, but like, no.
Yeah. I think Jalen's a little disrespected. Shane Gillis, you're still the man. Please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. We're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Find us on YouTube. Please help us out. 1 of 32 on YouTube. Would love the support. Everybody, thank you. It's been cool. Thanks for welcoming us back. Hello in the Philippines.
We back.
Peace out.
Oh, that was